Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, this week I'm going to request you all that this should be your homework for this week. Instead of listening to a new lecture, I would like you to think and brainstorm and put your time and energy, efforts on finding somebody, one or more people who you can add to the next Quran group. And I know that sometimes people might think that what's the use, people don't really add, and sometimes you might think that I can just simply forward. So this is what I've been requesting, that just don't just forward, even if you can think of one or two people to work very lovingly, very caringly, without making any judgments, without getting frustrated, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given huge rewards for this. And even if people don't get added because of you, just think that your name will be written amongst the people who made an effort. Because you have the example of so many prophets and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like they tried, and if the prophet tried and 100% people did not become Muslims, then how can we expect that everyone that we will talk to will completely, totally accept what we're saying, and they will be like very eagerly doing all the lessons? There are also some ahadith. I will also send them to you, but I will read them for you. This Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever guides someone to goodness will have a reward like the one who did it." So you just have to guide someone. If they follow on, if they do even one change in how they were doing things, whatever amal it is, you will get the same reward even if you're not doing it, but it will be written in your record as well. So your efforts will not go in vain. Another hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, "Convey from me even if it is one verse." So do not think that if you do something like forwarding or encouraging someone towards Islam, towards listening to these lessons, that is something, what difference will it make? It seems like a small effort. Sometimes we think that tabligh is, or spreading Islam has to be done when you are a teacher and there has to be a big class, or you're with a group and you're going somewhere. So we only think in terms of that big scale tabligh or dawah. This hadith shows us very clearly that even a small message that you can forward, or you can incline someone, encourage someone towards Islam, that is what the Prophet ﷺ asked us to do. Another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that by Allah, yani he swears by Allah, if a single person is guided by Allah through you. So Allah can guide anyone He wants. But if you become the source of their guidance, it will be better for you than a whole lot of red camels. In some hadiths it is 100, in some it is 1,000 red camels. And what's the significance of red camels? These were very valuable. These were considered extremely expensive. It's just like the difference today in a regular car and a sports or luxury car, and imagine like having so many of those. And it just means like in this dunya you're so successful, you have so much money, wealth, properties, houses, cars, so you're billionaire, trillionaire, and more than that. So if one person even gets guidance through you in your whole life, that is better than being such a rich person. And there's another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam which mentions that the one who calls to guidance will have a reward equal to those who follow him, without their reward being diminished in any way. So whatever effort you will put and somebody follows that, and inshallah they will get the reward, but you will also keep getting the same level of reward whenever they listen to the lesson, whenever they forward it to someone, whenever they practice according to it. And then there is another hadith which talks about sadaqah jariyah, that the reward keeps on going in your account till that person practices, or if they have also further spread it to their children, to their family, whoever. And whoever keeps practicing Islam because of what you, if you guided one person, that will be written in your account even if you're not alive. So inshallah, I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us find somebody, one person if you can find, work on them. If you can find more people, that is awesome, because the percentage of people who actually add themselves or listen to the lessons is usually very little. But that is okay. I mean, that is not for us to decide or judge why they are not doing this. And our work is to make an effort and to not judge people, to be understanding, to be available, to make things easy for them. Inshallah, I'm going to share the hadiths that I have just told you about. And so sometimes it is easier for people to read and save them and understand them, go through them. I just want to make one more comment about the hadith where I mentioned that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that convey from me even if it is one word. So the tone of this hadith is not just a suggestion. It does not sound like it is an option. And if you don't think of it as an assignment from me for this week, and if you think that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be here, this is what he would be telling us to do. And it shows how this feels like more a fard, right, an obligation on us rather than an option, and just not taking it seriously. Sometimes people would see these ayats, these hadiths, and this request, and they would think that okay, somebody else will do it. I'm just trying to make sure that we understand that it is a responsibility on all of us to convey, to forward, to let the other person know. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decides who gets the hidayat. But we will get, inshallah, the reward. And actually, it's not an optional reward. We are supposed to, because the mission of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to be moving forward by the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We will be the one on the day of judgment to bear witness, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us, who did you spread the knowledge of Islam to? Okay, so inshallah, I hope you will take this seriously and think of someone who, because of you, would start listening to these lessons, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and add barakah in our time, and inshallah give hidayah through us, inshallah. Ameen summa ameen.